The centre is expected to roll out a centralized intelligence unit that would monitor India's Make in India as well as manufacturing progress. The intelligence unit will develop key performance indicators and metrics such as value added, export performance, technological prowess, supply chain effectiveness, labour productivity as well as access to gold market. Now, what exactly is on the task list for the Central Intelligence Unit? The unit will gauge the impact of government schemes such as PLI. It will, of course, also try and analyze the increase on manufacturing share of the GDP to about 25% by 2047. That's the target, and ramp up India's production capacity as well as ensure that Make in India is competitive on a global scale. An intelligence unit, Krishna, for manufacturing Make in India just goes on to tell you that India is now serious about becoming a manufacturing hub.
Yes, and we've seen that intent being expressed in everything from manufacturing mobile phones in this country to manufacturing semiconductor chips in this country being the most recent. So clearly, India is very, very serious about becoming a global manufacturing hub, and that is the reason why this Central Intelligence Agency, or CIA, is going to explore and understand the top 10 manufacturing countries in the world. How are they manufacturing? How are they adding value? How are they making sure they export so much that they manufacture within the country? Sort of a best case practices study of the top 10 manufacturing countries across the world so that we can get those best case practices into India. And these performance indicators will help India understand what are the kind of things that India should be manufacturing. Before all of this, either way, there has been a clear, the government has made it with that Make in India program, which is an overarching program. And then there's the phased manufacturing program, or the PMP, and of course the PLI scheme as well. All of this acting in tandem together to encourage more and more people to start manufacturing in India, to start putting up manufacturing plants in this country, both domestic manufacturers as well as global manufacturers to come to this country. Anything from Apple to our own semiconductor manufacturing chips, which the first one being the Tata Group investing in one of them. But the fact of the matter is that we are at a very early stage. At this stage, about 17% of the GDP comes from manufacturing. We want to increase that to 25%, and it's going to be a long a climb from here that's going to require some concerted, at the same time strategic, intelligent effort from India's part. It's not just about blindly manufacturing anything and everything that we can find that we can put our hands on. It's about manufacturing high value products. It's about manufacturing products that can have long-term value for this country, can be exported from this country as well. So
and have a global demand for that matter.
Absolutely. So so in that sense, it has to be strategic. So it can't be haphazard. And this setting up of a Central Intelligence Agency tells you that the government is not only bullish and wanting to put up more and more manufacturing plants in this country, but be strategic about it, be smart about it, see what the other countries are doing, manufacturing giants across the world are doing, so that we've been talking about India claiming its fair share in global manufacturing for a very long time now, and it doesn't have it at this point in time. But for India to to have the economic progress it wants, manufacturing is going to play a key role in it going forward. We've seen that happen, and that's the reason why we began with these mobile phones and semiconductor chips, because suddenly we realized the fact that semiconductor chips go into all product categories, and only one or two countries know how to make semiconductor chips. So it's important that India gets into that game at this stage before other countries take the lead, because bear in mind, India has competition. It's not like India is free to do it right now. You have a Vietnam competing with it, you have an Indonesia competing with it. So India has to be strategic and quick on its feet if it wants to be the global manufacturing hub it wants to be.
And perhaps an intelligence agency was long time coming for India to really understand what are its key strengths and weaknesses when it comes to manufacturing. Remember, India has a target of upping that manufacturing to about 25% of the GDP by 2047. In order to do that, it has now set up an intelligence unit.